In this lesson, you will be using a line plot, otherwise known as a dot plot, to organize and analyze data. So, how can I use a line plot to find the mean, median, mode, and range? Well, let's look at some data. Video games. Vanessa says that her average score on a video game is 500. Vanessa's scores from playing the video game 8 times are shown below. So we have 350, 300, 200, 500, 250, 450, 550, and 500. Does 500 describe Vanessa's scores well? Why might Vanessa use 500 as her average score? So, first we're going to make a line plot to solve the problem. So here we have our line plot. And now we can look at our numbers, and what we do with a line plot or a dot plot is we just mark how often they come up on our line. So let's start with 200. We see 200 once. The difference, by the way, between a line plot is we put X's, a dot plot, we put dots to represent how often something comes up. I'm going to use a line plot. So then we have 250. Then we can see we have 300. We have 350. Then we have no 400, but we have 450. We have 500 twice, so 1, 2. And finally we have 550. So now I've plotted it on the line plot, and I can see a few things from least to greatest. My lowest number is 200, my highest number is 550. And I can use this to find the mean, median, and mode. Now, looking at the mode, I can see my mode is 500. And then my middle number, again, I go from least to greatest. I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that gives me 2 numbers in the middle. 350 plus 450 divided by 2 is actually 400. So 400 is my median, my middle number. So now I can answer some questions. I can see that 500 as an average score is not an accurate representation. 500, I can see, is the mode, or the most often. So that's the score she was using to say that's her average score. And 500 makes her scores seem higher than they really are. The average, of course, would be if we added 200 plus 250, 300, 350, 450, 500, 500, and 550. So when I add all those numbers together, I get 3,100. And of course I have 8 numbers, so I would divide that by 8 and see that that is an average, or the mean, is 387 and a half. That would be her average score. Another accurate representation could be to look at the median number, or 400. So both would be a better way of representing that data. So now it's your turn. Look at the guide practice problem. Baseball. A sports report states the average number of wins by a baseball team is 77. The number of wins by a baseball team in 10 sessions or seasons are shown below. So we have 82, 94, 97, 88, 88, 71, 69, 55, 59, and 72. Does 77 describe the number of wins well? Why might a report use this number? Make a line plot to solve the problem. And then kind of think to yourself, which number might be a better representation if it does not describe the wins well? Go ahead and take a minute to pause the tutorial and try this problem out for yourself. Go ahead and stop now. In this lesson, we used a line plot, otherwise known as a dot plot, to analyze and organize data. You can use that to find mean, median, mode, and even the range. So these are just some other ways of describing data. I hope you understand very well, and make sure you revisit previous tutorials if you're still struggling for understanding mean, median, mode, and range. Great job again!